Welcome. You're right where you belong. Eugenia and I have been friends for 28 years, and while life phases and stages, racking up titles and all the etceteras in life keep us busy, we are intentional about keeping each other centered and committed, and to picking up right where we left off. After all, it's our life support. Hey there, and welcome back to Life Support. I'm Alexis, and today we're diving into a topic that so many of us struggle with: how to simplify the holiday season and keep peace intact. If you're already feeling a little anxious about gifts, travel plans, crowded schedules, or maybe just the pressure to make it all magical, this episode is for you. We're going to talk about avoiding holiday burnout, being mindful of your budget, and something that might be the most powerful tool this season: the ability to say no guilt free. So take a deep breath, grab a cozy drink, and let's get into it. Eugenia, what is your fall go to drink?
Oh wow. So it used to be the salted caramel latte from Starbucks. Have you ever tried that? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Um, I have tried it. It is
Okay.
good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, and they discontinued that like I want to say a few years ago, and I was so upset. That was my go-to. So now I will get a pumpkin spice latte. Not my fave, but it kind of like just puts me in the fall mood a little bit. So
Yes.
I'll do that. But mostly while I'm at home, I'll just do like a caramel latte.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah. What about you?
Okay, so I love, which is kind of late fall, but I love the caramel brulee from Starbucks.
Yes. Okay.
And I am literally obsessed with it, so much so, like I try to drink it even through like after Christmas until they discontinue the pump that they use for
Yeah.
the syrup. So I love that. At home, I feel like I get into more like nutty flavors when the fall
Mhm.
comes around. So I like a little hazelnut. They have a s'mores Torani
Mm.
syrup that actually kind of tastes like a praline more so than a s'more. But it's just warm, it's mapley, it's got that crisp, cozy vibe. So
Okay.
I definitely love coffee at home. So I will definitely add like Torani syrups and get all of the nice toasty flavors that they have.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Sounds good. I might have
Yeah.
to you just mentioned.
Yes.
But yeah, okay. So let's start with the obvious. Why do the holidays feel so heavy sometimes? For a season that's supposed to be about joy, connection, and reflection, it can quickly turn into stress, overspending, overcommitting, and just plain exhaustion. So, for some of us, it's cultural. There's the unspoken pressure to do it all. Say yes to every invitation, find the perfect gifts, decorate beautifully, bake from scratch, or show up happy and energized for every gathering. And honestly, that's just not realistic or sustainable. Especially if you're already juggling work, family, or your own personal challenges. This is where we pause and ask ourselves, what actually matters to me in this season? Alexis, do the holidays quickly become burdensome for you? What stands out as the biggest stressor?
Well, not anymore. But previously, yes, absolutely. Like to the point of getting sick and getting so sick, not even remembering the holidays. One of the biggest stressors for me is the fact that I always want to keep consistent with like whimsical traditions, and I want everyone to feel full and happy and cozy, and I don't want to miss a thing when it comes to creating that magic. And because it is often a soul project, I'm a lone wolf in that. It does become a larger lift than what I expected to go into it, if that makes any sense. Previously, it's like even with like extended family, I'm the one who's like, okay, let's get organized, let's get our pajamas, let's get our portraits done, let's go to an orchard, or let's creating those moments so that the kids more so have memories. But now I have just scaled all the way back because it became less enjoyable for me, and that kind of misses the point, and I would just be burned out. So that was the biggest thing, really trying to, you know, carry the whole entire load of creating those traditions. What about you?
Yeah. So mine is pretty similar to yours.
Okay.
um, it's just like you feel this quiet weight settle on you.
Mhm.
So, sometimes I wonder if I'm putting all this pressure on myself for the holidays, because like you, I want everything to feel magical. When in reality, like my kids might not even notice the little details that I obsess over. So, I might stress out about, the matching pajamas or whether the gifts are wrapped just right. But my kids, they're just excited to rip the paper off the gifts or like have cookies in their pajamas and stuff like that. So I think that it makes me realize that a lot of the weight that I do carry isn't even about them. It's about me wanting to recreate or like hold on to like a feeling, the nostalgia, like the
Mhm.
growing up as a kid and having these, whimsical moments and feelings when the holidays come around. And I'm realizing that they just need me present. It doesn't have to be like the Pinterest worthy version of like the holidays. You know what I mean? So I'm
Absolutely.
yeah, I'm slowly realizing that. However, I'm still going to do things for the holidays, like that, because that's just something that I love anyway. But I'm not going to put that stress on myself to try to make it perfect. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I think that trying to make it perfect is a quick, slippery slope to burnout. And burnout during the holidays isn't just about being busy, it's about being drained emotionally, physically, financially. And that is just not the vibe we want, okay? Here's some tips, everyone, for protecting your energy. Built in breathing room. Saying no to back plans. You don't need to be at everything to make the season bright and make it merry and cheerful. Create a must do list. What are your non negotiables? Maybe it's watching a holiday movie with your kids or a quiet dinner with your partner. Prioritize those. Everything else, it's optional. Set boundaries early. And this is the part where I used to just mess it all up. But setting those boundaries early, letting family and friends know what you can realistically commit to. For example, we'd love to come, but we're keeping our plans low key this year. Remember, saying no isn't rude, it's responsible.
Right.
Yeah,
So let's talk money because let's be real, the holiday spending can spiral fast. Gifts, travel, food, events, suddenly your credit card's maxed out and you're starting January stressed. And we don't want that, sis. So
mm-mm.
here's how to rein it in. You want to set a firm budget before you start shopping. Decide what you can spend, not what you feel pressure to spend. Number two, get creative with gifts. Thoughtful doesn't have to mean expensive. Also, talk to family about scaling back. A lot of people are feeling the financial strain. Suggest a gift exchange, price cap, or skipping gifts altogether in favor of quality time. Being intentional is that girl forever and always. So, Alexis, how do you feel about, I guess, money in the holidays?
That's another slippery slope. I definitely feel like this time of year can easily become stressful, and it's performative pressure. You
Mhm.
want to be the Santa in everybody's chimney, and the reality of the situation is that you can't just live for the holidays. You still have to live around the holidays. And come January, like you said, all of those bills, all of those expenses that you created for a quick thrill are just going to be knocking at your door. And so I have learned that overspending is just, it's a burden that no one needs to bear, because the real golden ticket, I would say, of the holidays is being able to spend time with one another, being able to immerse yourself in quality time, quality experiences. I told my kids what we were spending on gifts and things like that. We just should just go take a trip. It's going to be less.
Yeah.
We definitely tried to give like really meaningful gifts. What about you?
Um, so when it comes to my feelings about money and the holidays, I do try to budget because like when the holidays come around, money does sit real heavy on my mind, as it does with I'm sure a lot of people. So, you know, with that, of course, I want to give my kids the best, the gifts, the outings, the little extras and things like that. But at the same time, I'm calculating numbers in my head, asking myself, like, can we afford this? Are we overdoing it? So I think that's something that I really hone in on is trying to stick with the budget. Um, Doing things that I feel like will create memories. I feel like it's worth spending money on things like that. And then
Yeah.
also as far as like the gifts and things like that, it's usually what I feel like they may need. You know what I mean? Not just necessarily what they want. They might get one or two things that they want, but I'm getting you what you need because I'm not going to be, overspending and then coming back a month or two later. Oh, mom, I needed this. I could have got you that. You know what I mean? I could have got you that for
Yes.
Christmas or this or that. So, yeah, so, that's what I try to do is just like budget.
Yes, I am all for budget. And something that also changed my whole holiday season entirely was just being able to say no. No to overspending, no to traditions that no longer serve me, no to toxic expectations, whether mine or someone else's. And every time I'm saying no to something that drains me, I realized that I was saying yes to something that fills me up: rest, peace, joy, and presence. So, for all of you all, try this. Thanks so much for the invite. We're keeping things simple this year. I'm focusing on rest and family this season. I can't commit right now, but I hope it goes beautifully. That is my punchline all the time. I use that all the time. But, saying no, I know. Is that shady?
Not, I mean, it could be taken that way, but like I could just hear you saying that. So,
Yes. I
yeah.
hope it goes beautifully. Um, but I feel, kind, clear, with no apologies necessary, because you do have to prioritize yourself, your health, and your family, and having those boundaries is a lot of times where we kind of veer to the left and where we stop enjoying the things that matter most.
Right. Completely agree. At
Yeah.
the end of the day, most people won't remember the perfect wrapping paper or the 10 different side dishes you made. They'll remember how they felt. So, were you present? Were you laughing, connecting, breathing? Did you make space for peace? Sometimes the best memories are made in the quiet, simple moments and not the big, busy ones. So, this season, I invite you to slow down, let go of what doesn't matter and focus on what does. That's it for today's episode. If this resonated with you, I love for you to share it with a friend who might be feeling overwhelmed right now. Let's spread the message that less can really be more. If you haven't already, hit subscribe so you don't miss next week's episode. Until then, take care of yourself, be gentle, and remember, you don't need to do it all to make the holidays meaningful. Thanks for sharing part of your day with us here on Life Support. Until next time, bye.
If this episode inspired you, we'd love to hear your biggest takeaway. Slide into our DMs on Instagram at @thelifesupport_.
If you haven't yet, make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss a Power Hour pep talk. And leave a comment. It helps other mamas find us and transforms one mom's hustle into all of our community boosts.